Hello there, students. Welcome to part 4 of the Kansas City Royal baseball statistics from the season 2017. And today I'm going to show you, or in this video, I'm going to show you something cool to calculate. This is what you should have up to this point. If you've completed part 3, you should have answered these questions here, and hopefully you were able to put in formulas to do that. You should have 2 tabs down at the bottom that says, one says total hits, one says formula fun. Today we're going to look at batting average, an incentive where professional baseball players can make a lot of extra money if they lead the league or the team in batting average. So I'm going to show you how to have the spreadsheet calculate that for us and sort the players in order if we wanted to. So probably the easiest thing to do would be to, first of all, I want you to click in cell A1 and click and hold that. Make sure you have the rectangle showing. You might have to click twice, but hold the mouse down and drag down, but stop at cell G10 where you have all of that information, and then let go of your mouse. That was a left click. I might have said right click. That's supposed to be a left click because that selects it. Now when it's grayed out like that, you should have the first cell in the upper left white and grayed out. That means you've selected that. Now do a right click, and we want to copy this. Don't cut it, we want to copy it. And there you've got the ants running around that data. Again, make sure all the data from A1 down to the whole line of totals is selected. Now come down here to the plus sign and click on New Sheet. Now all of a sudden you're going to get a blank sheet. Now you didn't lose your other things. You'll notice now you should have 3 tabs here: Total Hits, Formula Fun, and Sheet 1. Now go to cell A1 there and do another right click, and under Paste Options, hit that first clipboard looking thing. You'll see it appear, but you need to click it with a left click, and then you get that. Now just click into any cell off of that and it'll disappear. The gray will disappear. One thing I noticed right away is, I don't know if this happens on yours, but total hits is slightly cut off because what you just did is you pasted that into some cells that were a different size because you had adjusted the other page. So let's click up in the column. Let's spread that out just a little bit to make that column G wider. So we basically have the same data that we had on Formula Fun. I'm going to click back to Formula Fun. And if you want to get rid of those ants, by the way, if you click on Formula Fun, just double click anywhere off that cell and it'll disappear. So basically on sheet 1 down here now, we have everything except for those questions. So let's double click on sheet 1 and let's rename that batting average. And what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the batting average, and then we're going to sort the players in order of batting average, greatest to least. So first of all, well, let's talk about what batting average is. Let's go up here to, how about I2, go up to I2, and I'm just type this in here: batting average equals hits divided by. Now divided by is the symbol right on your number key, right above the 8. Okay, it's like a fraction bar. The total number of hits divided by at bats, which is AB, and then hit enter. And let's bold that just for fun. Hit right click and bold that. So that's just telling us that's how you calculate batting average. And then, like I said earlier, players at the end of the year, they receive awards if they are have the highest batting average in the league. So let's go to cell H4. Let's put a title. We'll call it batting average. Hit enter. Now it went ahead and bolded mine. Hopefully it will do that for you. If it didn't bold it and underline it, go ahead and bold and underline that if necessary, but hopefully it's already done for you. It probably depended on how you selected that row when you did that to the initial row. And try to make all those titles looking the same. Okay, so let's go now into cell H5. That's Eric Hosmer. Let's figure out what his batting average is based on his hits, which is cell G5, and his total at bats, which is cell B5. Okay, and this is really simple to do. So let's double click in there, or you can go up here and click and make sure cell H5. You can look right there, make sure that's selected, and type equal sign. What you just did when you did that is you told the computer that you're going to put in a formula. And what we want to do is we want to click on the number of hits, which was 189, but you're going to see G5, so you just told it to select cell G5. Again, this is a variable, basically, that we've chosen to put in here, and we could go back and change the number of hits later if we wanted to, and it would calculate the average for us as we changed it. That's pretty cool. G5. Now again, right above the 8 on your number lock is a divide sign. I'm going to hit that divide, and we want to divide that by the number of at-bats. So now just move over to B5 and click on that. So make sure your cell looks like that, equals G5 divide B5, and hit enter, and you're going to get a long, crazy looking number like that. That is his batting average. I'll show you how to fix that in just a second. But let's click up here in that cell. We'll change that number in just a second where it'll look a little more familiar to you. And let's do our little trick where we can grab that cell, grab the bottom right hand corner, and we really only want to drag it down through Salvador Perez. We could do down through the last line as well, and that would give us the batting average of all the players combined. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to stop it at Salvador Perez. I'm going to let go, and we get all of those numbers. Okay, now we look at those numbers, and they look a little funny because they're so long. They're irrational is what they really are. It means they go on forever and they don't repeat. It doesn't look like any repeat. But typically when we see batting average, we only see 3 digits. So we are going to drop or round off these numbers to the 3rd decimal place. And it's really simple to do. Make sure it's selected. If you clicked off there, you'll need to reselect that whole area. Let's do a right click on that section. And we want to come down to where it says Format Cells. Click on Format Cells. And what we want to do here is we want to click on Number. Now when you click on Number, you're going to see this screen here. And what we can do on this screen is we can tell it how many decimal places we want to show in that number. And typically in batting average, we want to show 3. So yours might have said 5. I changed mine. I was in here before messing around. You want to change that to 3. So whatever number it is, just click the arrow up or down until it says decimal places 3, and you should see something. There'll be a sample there, and there's probably a 0 on the front and 3 digits afterwards, and hit OK. So what it just did is it took all the batting averages and it basically rounded them to the 3rd decimal place. And then one more thing I'd like to do here, as we have time, is, well, we need to center this data just to make it look uniform to the rest of the spreadsheet. So I'm going to go back to my Home tab. So if you're not at home, click on the Home tab and go to Alignment, Center. And since this is a pretty important statistic, I'm going to bold it, and I might even make it a little bit bigger. I click through. I'll make it 12-point font where it's just slightly bigger than the other pieces of data there. Now before I wrap this thing up, we will notice, ironically, it looks like I have them, they are already sorted by least to greatest, so I was going to show you how to sort those, but I don't need to because they are already sorted. It looks like they are sorted least to greatest, but that would be really simple for us to do. So I'm going to do something else really fast. Let's do this now. If you need to stop the video, stop it and get caught up to that point. But let's do one more thing, and let's click on A1, and let's select all the way over through row I to cell I10 and do a right click, copy, click on another spreadsheet and an A1, do a right click, paste all that data in there, hit enter or click off of there, click on to sheet 2 down here, and let's rename this Home Run Leaders. All right, so now you've got 4 tabs down here: total hits, formula fund, batting average, and home run leaders. We're going to have to readjust our cells here, spread out the total hits, spread out the batting average, All right, now we're going to do something really interesting here. We are going to sort these names by the number of home runs that they've hit. And that is really, really easy to do. So we're going to try to just wrap it up here in a minute. One other thing I noticed before I do that, Moustakas is slightly cut off, and I don't like that. I forgot to do that on the other sheet. So let's spread that out because he's our home run leader. If you didn't know, he actually set a record for the Royals this year. All right, what we're going to do here, we are going to sort the players by the number of home runs that they hit. But when we do that, we have to keep all of the statistics remaining with the same player. So Moustakas is going to have to move up to the top here, but we also have to move all of the data that goes with his hitting performance this season. So it's really simple to do. Click in the cell that has Eric Hosmer, which is A5. Let's click on that and select all of the data only down through cell H9. Okay, you don't want to select the totals row here, or that'll mess up the sort. All we're doing is selecting the players here, okay? And we're going to go up here, so make sure that is selected, or it won't work. We're going to go up here to where it says Sort Filter, and you should be on the Home tab. Sort Filter, there's a little arrow, so you click on that, and you're going to pop up screen that looks like this. Click on Custom Sort. Okay, and this is where it gets a little interesting. Make sure you can see the screen, make sure it's nice and big. On Custom Sort, what we're going to do is it says Sort By, and there's an arrow. We're going to click that arrow. We can choose to sort it by any of these topics. We could sort it by who had the most at-bats, the most singles. We're going to go down here to HR, home run. We're going to click HR, and it's going to sort by home runs. Now the cool thing here is we could add more levels to that. If we wanted to do sort by home runs and then by singles, we could certainly do that. And then we're going to go over here where it says order. We want the largest first. It says smallest to largest. We don't want smallest to largest. We want largest to smallest, so that Moustakas should end up as the leader there. We're going to click OK, and then there it is right there. Double click off, and you can see that now Moustakas, who had the most home runs, is listed first. Perez had the second most home runs as 27. Hosmer had 24. Merrifield had 18. And Kane had 15. So that's real simple to do. That's the editing sort right here, and you can choose to sort by anything you want. You'll notice over here batting averages. We're no longer sorted by batting averages. If I wanted to do that, I would just select the data again, and I would resort it by batting average. Now, if your batting average didn't change, that means you didn't select the whole group when you were doing the sort there. So that wraps up part number 4, putting in batting average and sorting. And in the next video, we will begin creating graphs to go with our statistics. Have a nice day.